And thank you for joining us today. This is Dr. Tommy Show live from Wesley Chapel. After 1 week of vacation, we are back. We are back with our special guest host, Kaylee. And Dr. Tommy Show is the concierge medicine morning show of choice in Wesley Chapel, Florida. And we're glad you joined us today. Today is a nice hot day. It's about 90 degrees today in Wesley Chapel, so back to the summer. And the Dr. Tommy Show is brought to you by Atlas MD, which is the preeminent medical software for membership medicine practices, which includes concierge medicine and direct primary care. And if you want to find out how well Atlas MD can make your practice run, go to AskDrTommy.com and click on special offer for Atlas MD, and you can get it free for 60 days. That's enough time for you to basically test drive it and see if it's worth the money that it costs, which is maybe a couple members a month worth of dues to make your practice run like a well-oiled machine. Includes billing software, includes messaging software, it includes your EMR, includes a whole host of things. So go to AskDrTommy.com, click on special offer for Atlas MD, and then you too can try it for free. And joining us today is our special guest, Kaylee. Kaylee, how are you doing?
Good.
Got talking to the mic.
Good.
Good. And as always, our concierge medicine specialist, clinical coordinator, Tracy McElroy.
Hi.
New name.
That's right, new name.
So we are back from the Poconos. We went to visit my parents up in Pennsylvania, and it was a surprise visit.
Yes,
and
they were surprised for sure.
Thankfully, our viewership on the Dr. Tommy Show is low enough that even my parents did not watch that episode.
They did not.
And we're not tipped off that I said that I was going to go onto the Poconos or go to Pennsylvania.
No, we did show them.
And it was cold.
It was cold. We did show them the video when we were there, remember?
Yes, and they were very amused by that. So I accidentally let the cat out of the bag that we were going there. If you are on Facebook right now, then you can join us on YouTube, watching on YouTube Live. And by all means, please subscribe on YouTube. And that way you will get the updates whenever we go live. Tell them about our trip to Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania.
Oh, Jim Thorpe was awesome. The town was founded in the late 1800s. And I don't know, they refer to it as the Switzerland. The town that's very similar to what Switzerland looks like. Mm-hmm. All these unique houses. And Jim Thorpe apparently was an athlete he was not from Pennsylvania, I guess.
He was from Pennsylvania, but he was from 100 miles south.
Okay. But anyhow, he was buried in a town, and I can't remember what was the name of the town.
Mount Chunk.
Something like that, yes.
It was an Indian name.
And now and anyway, Jim Thorpe was buried there. Now they named the town after him.
Yeah, and they did that as kind of a marketing ploy when
right.
his wife, I guess at the time, was able to get some payment for that. And now Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania is Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania. And it's a little mining town. It was founded as a mining town, and it is now, I think they said it had 4,000 people there, but the population's declined since 20 years ago. It's down from 6,000 now to only 4,000.
Yes, for some reason I was thinking it was more like 2,800, the population, but it has steadily declined each year.
Yeah, is it only 2,800?
I believe it was 2,800. Maybe it is 4,000, but anyway, I know that it has steadily declined over the years. But it's a really cool town, and they have an old jail there. Yes. And it's based on there's a movie about it. What's it called? Molly Maguire?
The Molly Maguires were a group of Irish, they call them terrorists, depending on who you think of, or freedom fighters, as it always is the case. One person's freedom fighters, another person's terrorist. Anyway, they were Irish miners who, in I think it was the 1780s. I can't remember the exact time, or maybe it was a while ago. Mm-hmm. And maybe it was 1870s. I can't remember.
It seemed like it was in the 1800s.
And they basically were involved in sabotage of the mine operation because of the terrible conditions. So they were fighting back. And if you watch the movie The Molly Maguires, it stars Sean Connery, and it also stars Richard Harris as a mining. One of them is the leader of the mine gang, and the other one is the person who was leading the resistance. I'm sorry, one of them was one that was hired to infiltrate the mine gang by the owners of the mine.
Yeah, I want to see that. They also have a train ride. You can take up the side of the mountain and see how they brought coal down. That unfortunately was
Tilt your mic up. a little
that
bit.
unfortunately was closed
There you go.
because
Perfect.
kind of the whole town closes down a little bit during the winter.
Yeah. Yeah, well, everything was closed, and so it opens back up in May. And then my stepmother said that's when the buds come back. It's late
That's
April.
officially spring.
Right.
Late May.
Well, it's officially spring now.
I mean, I'm
but
sorry. That's when they acknowledge spring. Or that's when it
Right.
looks like spring, I guess.
Right.
There's snow still on the ground there.
Then we did a little, kind of not a pub crawl necessarily, but a little restaurant crawl. We went to, let's see, we went to the first place we went was Muggles Mug, I think. It's kind of a new age coffee bar, and met some of the locals who indulged us with some coffee and basically didn't talk to us at all.
They never spoke to us, and
Not where you're from or whatever?
I don't believe they cared that we were there
Not a
having
bit.
coffee.
No, and then we went to the pizza place, Antonio's, I believe it was called, which was very good.
That was very
New
good.
York style pizza, and it was almost as if you were in New York when we went into that little
Stop,
restaurant. Then we went to after that we went to where did we go after?
Oh, we went to we got a
Soundcheck
record.
Records. I found a Lead Belly LP, and that was just previously or just recently had been sold to them, and then right off the shelves I bought it.
Right, she said it had just been there, I guess, a day or two, right?
Yeah, the gentleman, I guess he had sold his record collection from the 70s, and it was very unique records. And Lead Belly, if you're not familiar, is one of the first bluesmen, I guess you call him a bluesman or folk singer as well, who
Sorry.
I believe it was the 1910s or 1920s, I think it was, or maybe it was the 30s. He was in prison, and a gentleman named Alan Lomax was traveling throughout the South recording old blues artists, and one of the artists he recorded was Lead Belly, and Lead Belly used that fame and notoriety from that recording to eventually win his freedom when they in addition to other things.
Right, he was released early, right?
He was released early. He murdered a family member who was had a dispute over a female. So that's that. So Lead Belly, we got that CD. Then we went, or that LP, and then we went to the Irish bar, or no, we went to an Irish bar.
We did go to an Irish bar.
It was called Molly Maguire's,
Yes.
and had some. I had Irish stout.
I don't remember what I had.
And you
but
had something else.
I had some type of pale ale.
Yeah. We were supposed to not be here today because we were going to go out of town with Bill Cosart and do a consultation, but that that was rescheduled, or actually was postponed, maybe indefinitely. One of the partners didn't decide they didn't want to have the convert over, but anyway, we are doing that as a service to membership medicine, potential membership medicine practices across specialties, and even multi-specialty groups. We've been talking with a few different groups, and one of them's a very large group to do some consulting. So we will help them figure out what is the proper way to go about changing their practice or part of their practice from insurance practice to a concierge medicine or direct primary care practice, or just a fee-based practice in general, cash-based practice. So we were going to go and spend a couple days up in, I think it was South Carolina.
Myrtle Beach. Which I was kind of looking, I mean, I'm glad that we did not go right now just because we got back from Pennsylvania a few days ago. But Myrtle Beach is nice.
What we'll be able to do too, though, is something that's different than most consulting things. Is we're not going to go in there and dress everybody up with, Echelon Health shirts and give them an Echelon Health domain, and then give them an Echelon Health letterheads, and then just call it a conversion. We're going to actually help them convert their own practice so that they have their own brand, but help them along each step of the way, along with our numerous partners. And thank you to everyone who is helping us with this, and there's numerous. I'm not going to mention them all, but if I say them and you're in concierge medicine, direct primary care, you'll know who I'm talking about. So I'm not going to say who they are, but you out there listening, you know who we're talking about. And you're very, very important people, and if I mention it, everybody out there's in membership medicine would know exactly who I'm talking about. So very important people. But anyway, so we're going to be doing that coming up throughout the year. We'll see where it takes us. It's exciting. It gives us something different to do besides just doing membership medicine, which is fun, but it's also fun to help other members get on board. We had this, I posted something last week on LinkedIn, It was it was from Dr. Jules Madrigal Dersch, who is a physician out in Texas, and she's a former president of the AAPS, which is the Association of American Physicians and Surgeons, and one of Dr. Walter Williams' favorite organizations. And she was given a speech talking about free market medicine, and that's received a lot of play on LinkedIn. And there's some people who are opposed to, or not necessarily opposed, but didn't necessarily believe in the free market in medicine, and think we need a more organized federal approach to it. And one of the things I posted was I believe that it would be hard to find a problem in healthcare that was not either caused or made worse by the federal government. Whether it be Medicare coming along in the 60s and causing prices to increase through numerous regulations, or whether it be the wage controls that were in place in the World War II that caused insurance to be utilized as a form of payment instead of wages in order to save money. All of those things have been foisted upon us by the federal government. So there was some discussion, heated discussion, polite most part, discussion on LinkedIn about that. You had a call from a patient last week, the one that was, tell them about what happened.
Well, she called and asked if, whoops, sorry.
We'll mute that.
She called and asked if we are accepting new patients, and I said we are always accepting new patients. And she wanted to know about our prices, and
she was...
Well, anyway, we talked about insurance, and I told her we don't bill insurance.
Right.
And she said, "Oh, so you don't take Staywell?"
No.
And I said, "No, we don't take Staywell,
nor any other insurance,
nor any
Blue
other
Cross,
insurance
Medicare,
for that
anything.
matter." And she said, "You don't take insurance?" And I said, "No, we do not. We spend more time with our patients rather than dealing with insurance companies." And she said, "Well, that's just weird," and then hung up on me.
And hung up. It is just weird for a lot of people.
It is. Well, a lot of people don't understand the concept. They are so conditioned to using insurance.
Or having to pay for their own self is unusual.
That's right.
Just weird.
That's right. That was just weird. She was looking for a place to go where it didn't cost her a dime.
Apparently so. Anyway, so it is just weird for some people.
But that was nice of her, wasn't it?
To hang up?
Okay. Yeah.
That's just weird.
That's just weird, and then hangs up on me. So polite.
And I want to give a shout out to some of our viewers out there. We know that Dave Beatty's probably watching. Also, Dr. Hughes, Whitney Tomlin. And then we just got a new subscriber to the Dr.
did?
Tommy Show.
Okay.
Guess who?
Who is it? Rami.
Not Rami.
Chris.
That Business Show 2.0. Jamie Maloney.
Oh, okay.
Or his show.
Well,
so
welcome,
thank you.
Jamie.
That Business Show 2.0. If you're not familiar, Jamie Maloney is the host. And the Business Show is a weekly show. Actually, it's a daily show during the weekdays. Where Jamie interviews guests like myself. I was on last year. And so check it out. It's That Business Show 2.0. It's on YouTube, and it's at thatbusinessshow.com. He's got all kinds of that. I think he's got that business video. He's got a lot of different.
Yes, and Jamie, if you were listening right now,
TampaBayRadio.com.
We asked a question.
Yes, where is Jamie from in West Virginia?
Just curious, because I'm from West Virginia.
Tracy's from West Virginia.
So maybe, who knows? Maybe we're cousins.
Maybe. You never know.
That's so funny.
West Virginia, when we went up to Pennsylvania, you said West Virginia was similar to what?
Yes, it
was-
is. It's similar. The roads are similar. The weather is similar.
A lot of mines.
Yeah. I mean, I think West Virginia is beautiful, and I thought Pennsylvania was just as beautiful.
There was so much corn there that was cut down. I can imagine when you go back during this growing season, that was just. I remember going there a few times. I usually go to visit my parents during the winter.
You do go during the winter?
Usually, you go in like Thanksgiving. Excuse me, but I bet you it would be cool to see all that corn just everywhere.
Right. I would rather go in the summer, I believe, next time. Especially your parents live around the lake and you can fish. And I think it would be beautiful. And beautiful weather.
And we did a little fishing this time, and I promptly got the plug stuck in the.
Yes, he was not able to cast his reel as well as I.
I know.
But you did leave a lure behind, so
Yes.
when your dad walks down to the dock, he's going to be reminded
Always
of you.
remember. That dock was kind of scary to get on. Because the
was-
water
well, yes.
had lifted it up and it made it sideways, and it's a little dangerous. I hope he doesn't get on that dock. He may go in.
I think your dad probably does get
He
on the
probably
dock.
does.
I'm pretty sure he does.
He moves a lot of stuff up and down those
Stop.
stairs that I don't know if I could move it, and he still does it somehow.
Yeah, I bet your dad does get on it, but it's really a beautiful lake.
Yeah. Dad, if you're watching,
And they-
hello.
Yes, hello.
Dad
And
likes YouTube.
your dad likes YouTube.
He's got his own little headphones there, and he just sits out there, and you'll just be sitting there. All of a sudden, you're Dad'll be over there watching something.
Yeah, your dad is so cute.
He was watching
funny.
buck dancing.
Yes, he's gonna. You're gonna try to take.
I'm gonna become a buck
dancing
dancer.
lessons.
Buck. Yep. Buck. B-U-C-K.
Yes.
If you're listening home.
Yes.
Buck dancing. Anyway,
It's very similar to clogging, in my opinion.
it looks like river dance, kind of. But anyway, apparently my great-grandfather was quite the buck dancer. My grandfather's father, Cyrus Green. And my father told my dad, or my grandfather, my papa, we called him, told my dad that his father was a buck dancer that was good, very good.
But your father never did it, right? He said he didn't.
I don't think my dad would be a buck dancer.
Maybe he could have back in his younger years.
Back in the day,
You never know.
I don't see it. Well, I don't see my great grandfather doing it. Have you seen those pictures of him? He looks like a very somber man.
Well, do you think the Irish dance studio in Lutz offers buck dancing?
I don't know. That's a
might.
good question. Irish dance. I mean, it's kind of that thing.
Yeah.
We should have Kaylee do a buck dancing.
No, not at all.
She does ballet and what else?
She does gymnastics.
Gymnastics. And she does ballet too, right?
Ballet and gymnastics, yes.
She could do buck dancing.
She can do a split and cartwheels and
Yeah.
No
Oh my
way.
anyway, it looks fun though, but it's similar to clogging, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe we should sign you up.
I would love to learn. I think it would be interesting.
That
I would be the only
cool.
buck dancer in Wesley, the only buck dancing concierge medicine physician in Wesley Chapel. Next week we're having speaking of concierge medicine in Tampa, we're having the preeminent concierge medicine practice in Tampa, South Tampa. Dr. Radley Griffin will be on discussing, among other things, the no starch, no sugar diet.
Oh yeah, that you were successful with, and
I lost 11 pounds,
I lost 3.
and you lost 3, but probably felt really good.
I still do feel very good. When you eat carbs, you feel bloated and tired.
Does Kaylee, though? Kaylee doesn't.
Kaylee loves carbohydrates. It's a little difficult, isn't it, preparing dinner? Now that we all live in the same home.
Yeah.
So my oldest daughter, Madison, is
Doesn't
a
eat
vegetarian.
meat. Kaylee only eats carbs just about.
And
And then
Tommy
we
and I are
were
trying
on
to
the
do
no carb or low sugar,
high
no
protein
starch
kind
diet.
of diet. Yeah, so it makes planning dinner a little difficult.
Yeah. We planted some plants yesterday, tomatoes, peppers, okra from your mother that she grew from seeds.
From seeds, yes, and they're beautiful.
She's got quite the green thumb.
She has really.
And
good
not
at
from
it.
seeds that were bought at the store, seeds from plants.
Yes, yeah, from her plants she grew the year
Yeah.
before.
So that's pretty cool. So we planted all those. I hope that the chickens did not tear them all up.
Well, if they did, we are having chicken.
Chicken
For dinner.
Lots of chickens for dinner. Kayla, you going to help with that?
Yes.
You going to help with the chicken massacre?
Yes.
You're okay with that?
Kayla's good at catching chickens. She's good at catching her chickens.
Yes, Rosie and Pork Chop are her pets. And
Rosie and
they
Pork Chop
love
came
her.
to visit you the other day at the window, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. They wanted to come in the house.
They are sweet. They are sweet chickens. We will not include them on the massacre.
No,
My chicken name is Rosie.
I know.
And my sister's is Pork Chop, which is a funny name.
Yeah, and they both came to visit you, remember? They came to the window. They heard your little voice. They thought that they would come in and visit you.
That scared me, so I ran out too.
I think you're going to have to go back to school tomorrow because you're healed up.
Aw.
Yes.
School, yes.
Yay.
Yes.
School.
I wonder if we can ask if you can stay late,
Why?
just because.
Oh, yeah, I got to make up those extra hours.
We'll see if you can stay 12 hours, maybe. Just kidding. But you are going back to school most likely.
Well, thank you all for joining us. Recap was the honeymoon in Poconos was fun. And next week we have Radley Griffin joining us. So tune in for that. Subscribe on YouTube. And also listen to Ask Dr. Tommy Show podcast. We have a one coming up shortly. I believe I'll be talking to the owner of Green Imaging, which is a direct pay imaging center in Texas. And I just hooked up with her today on LinkedIn. So hopefully we'll have that for you. And we will have a lot of good things coming up in the future. So stay tuned to AskDrTommy.com for all the latest and commentary. Also, you can see the latest article I wrote about why people who are very successful sometimes are very unhealthy. and that is because they are so concentrated on working, they ignore their health. So check that out, AskDrTommy.com under commentary. And until next time, anything from you, Kaylee? All right, until next time, bye-bye.